Rain falls hard on cobblestone, lamps swinging in the wind, cigarette sparks near the stair, night settling in. Strum rolls from a corner of the room, piano chipped and scarred, bottle cracks on alley brick, life hitting hard. Hum rises from a passing train, fire escape above, shadow of a preacher man talking about love. Sweep a coat across the floor, heels tapping near the wall, dice bounce wild in a shaking hand. One man takes the fall. No rings clear beneath the rain, water running down my face, whiskey breath in the midnight air, no saving grace. Been twist deep in a raw refrain, church bell in the distance tolls, street light flickers on wet brick, mercy for the souls. Strum returns like Sunday prayer, smoke climbing toward the beam, bottle rolling down the curb, chasing a dream. Hum settles in the alley dark, rain easing by degrees, lamp burns out above the door, no guarantee. Chalk dust rising in a dim lit hall, cue stick leaning by the wall, cigarette sparks in a corner dark, waiting for the call. Card tables set on crooked legs, bills stacked neat and tight, a gold tooth flashing in a grin under a single light. Domino game tapping on wood, ivory slapping hard, someone swearing under breath, guarding every card. Back room deal behind closed doors, whisper low and fast, bottle sweating near the crate, shadows being cast. hot cold. Watch long gone by noon. Wedding ring and silver chain vanished far too soon. Dice bounds wild across green field. Corn spilled from a cup. One man shaking in his chair, look about to give up. Chalk dust settling on my sleeve. Cue ball lined up clean. Breath held tight around the room. Eyes sharp and mean. Card table quiet near sunrise. Money gone from sight. Pawn shop sign across the street, catching morning light. Cornfield stretched beyond the fence. Porch swing creaks in time. Mason jar pass hand to hand. Stars begin to shine. Slide drifts across the evening air. Railroad near the bend. Freight cars moan beyond the tree. On and on they sing. Sustain carries past the barn. Dust rising from the ground. A church bell rings from town at night. Lonely sound. Pick strikes clean beneath the eaves. Boot heels mark the beat. Fireflies dance above the ditch. Heat still in the street. Bend rises from a weather tune. Truck idles by the gate. Suitcase resting near the step. Won't be here late. Note hangs over gravel drive. Letter in my hand. Ink pressed deep into the page. Hard to understand. Slide return near county side. Tail lights burning red. Fields whisper through the dark. Words unsaid. Sustain lingers on the porch. Jaws set on the rail. Cornfields fall beneath the wind. There's a tale. There's a wind rolling through the fields, cotton bending in the dark, lantern swinging by the steps, night dogs start to bark. mist rising off the bend, moon caught in the tide. Mud clings thick to my boots, no place left to hide. Porch swing creaking back and forth, mason jar passed around. Cricket singing steady time, dust upon the ground. Bourbon burn sitting in my chest, fire running through my veins. Train bridge shaking in the distance, echo over plains. Across the yard, calloused hands keeping pace. No woman standing in the doorway with sorrow on her face. Truck headlights down the gravel road, by the gate, church bell far beyond the trees, ringing out too late. Swing still and silent now, another night moves on. To wind easing toward the dawn, lantern merely gone, porch swing still and silent now, another night moves on. Slow bend curls along the fog dial, footstep vanish in the salty air. Faint horn drifts past the moored ships, lantern flicker where shadows stare. Soft strum bends across the creaking plains, tired fingers linger on the rail. Low sustained hums beneath the distant bell, waves lap quietly along the trail. gate. Footsteps echo in the misty lane. Faint hum twists over the lantern glow. Salt sprays lightly from the harbor crane. Soft strum hums along the railing edge. Tired fingers trace the mooring rope. Low sustained vibrates beneath the lantern post. Fog curls over the water slow. Slow bend drifts across the boardwalk floor. Faint hum rises past the shipping craze. Soft strum bends where the ropes twist high. Footstep vanish by the warehouse gates. Tired fingers linger along the pilings. Low sustained bends beneath the distant mast. Slow bend hums past the lantern's glow. Faint hum drifts through the harbor's past. Soft strum curls under the bell's toll. Footsteps vanish along the wet street. Tired fingers trace the shadow wall. Slow bend hums where the water meets feet. Low sustained vibrates past the dockside crane. Faint hum curls along the forward pier. Soft strum bends under the lantern light. Tired fingers leave the night's last tear. Mississippi drifts beneath a crooked moon. Lantern shaking on a nail. Boot heels echo on the dockside wood. River carrying every tale. Strings cry from a backroom stage. Whiskey burning in my chest. Dice roll out across green fell. Luck don't let a man rest. Then twist hard in a midnight tune. Card shark grins with gold cap too. Bottle sweats beside my hand. Nobody speaking true. Plug snap sharp through Smoky air. Coins clatter on the board. Chair scrapes rough against the floor. No mercy from the Lord. Sustained stretches across the bar. River wind through the cracked back door. A red dress turns beneath dim light. Heels tapping on the floor. Press lines firm on ivory key. Bartender counts his pay. Freight train moans beyond the bridge, carrying night away. tipped and dry. Pocket watch reads 2:30. Time won't testify. Wind lingers over muddy water. Lantern nearly gone. Lord, keep my losing hand till the break of dawn. Mississippi water rolls beneath the dock. Lantern glass shakes in a river breeze. A battered piano leans against the wall. Whiskey breath drifts through the trees. Chord rises from a corner stage. Cigarette sparks in a darkened bar. Boot heels scrape on wooden boards. Freight train rattles from afar. Strum carry across the riverbank. Cards slap hard on a crooked table. Bottle caps spin near a tin ashtray. Promises break when they're unveiled. Vibrato trembles in a hanging note. Streetlight flickers by the pier. Dice roll wild in a gambler's palm. No one says what they feel. Pedal clicks beneath the polished shoe. Barmaid wipes a cloudy glass. Laughter cracks and quickly dies. Night patrol cars pass. Sustained stretches over muddy water. Bark has grown against the chain. A red dress sways by the doorway. Perfume tangled up with rain. Cord returns like a restless ghost. Cards scatter on the floor. Pocket watch snaps shut at 2. No one knocks at the door. Strum fades in a river fall. Lantern burns its final spark. Boot heels echo down the dark. River keeps his mark. The stockyard morning smells of blood and steam. Boots sink deep in mud and straw. Men speak little before sunrise, saving breath for heavier things. Steel mill throws sparks at the sky, turning night a violent red. Faces glow in furnace light, eyes hard as iron rail. Overtime pay buys another week, but never buys back you. My boy sleeps before I get home, learning my absence by heart. Outside the corner store, young men trade stories and smoke. I pass with groceries in hand, dreams folded thin as paper. Inside the bar a slow shuffle rises, boot heels marking tired wood. I don't join the circle tonight, my rhythm doesn't match theirs. The mirror behind the counter shows lines I don't remember earning. Time writes without permission and never signs its name. Bills stack on the kitchen table, silence thicker than a wall. Hope used to sit across from me, now the chair stays bare. The stockyard settles into darkness, smoke drifting toward unseen stars. I remain another working man, learning how to require.
City small thing and no brick, fire escapes blame for sure. Taxi horns along the block, restless on the foot. Hot pavement shimmering at noon, tar soft under the sun. Vendors shouting near the curb, day just begun. Summer heat pressing on my back, shirt stuck through my skin. Factory gates swing open wide, shift rolling in, cement fan turning in a rented room, blades cutting heavy air, wallpaper peeling out to sea, suitcase on a chair. Kitchen table scarred by years, envelope marked past due, coffee cold in a chipped white mug, nothing new. wasn't thin. The ceiling fan still turning slow, waiting to begin.
Cotton fields stretching to the sun, white rose under blazing sky, sweat rolling down my back, no clouds drifting by, muddy boots caked in delta clay, steps heavy in the dust, callous hands and a broken mule, living off grit and trust. Riverbank bending in a wide brown curve, mosquitoes thick at dusk, lantern swinging by nailed up post, air smelling of husk, levee road running long and straight, truck tires spitting stone, radio humming a Saturday tune. I ain't going home. Steel bridge shaking from a passing train, water churning below, boxcars clattering in the dark, heading where I don't know. Whiskey passed from hand to hand, laughter thin and dry, someone talking about Chicago town under a blue sky, cotton fields fading in a rearview glass, dust trailing behind, Delta moon hanging low and wide, like it's reading my mind. Levee road turning toward the north, headlights cutting night, river rolling without a care, out of sight.
Soft strum homes along the narrow room, tired fingers trace a wallpaper crack, faint hum floats past the candlelight, whiskey drips in the chipped glass rack, low sustained bands beneath the piano keys, footsteps vanish on the creaking floor, slow band drips past the nightstand lamp, cigarette smoke curls along the door, soft strum vibrates through the corner chair, Tired fingers linger on the wooden rail. Faint hum twists along the quiet hall. Rain taps gently on the window veil. Low sustained hums beneath the lantern's glow. Slow bend curls along the bed frame edge. Soft strum drifts past the dresser top. Footsteps fade into the alley ledge. Tired fingers bend over the piano keys. Faint hum drifts through the hall's dim light. Soft strum vibrates under the ceiling fan. Whiskey whispers softly into the night. Low sustained hums across a room's corner. Slow bend curls past the bedside rail. Soft strum drifts under the lamp's dim glow. Footsteps vanish through the hallway trail. Tired fingers linger on the piano ledge. Faint hum drifts past the open door. Slow bend bends where the shadows stretch. Strum vibrates under the motel floor. Soft strum hums across the candlelight. Low sustained echoes through the quiet hall. Faint hum lingers in the midnight air. Tired fingers leave the final call. Factory whistle screaming at fire. Grease on my hands, dust in my hair. Still lunch pail heavy at my side. Another week hanging in the air. Rail yard humming under gray sky. Engines coughing thick black smoke. Many cabs with tired eyes. Dream going up in show. Night freight rolling past the bridge. Cinders falling like black rain. Boot heels scrape on splintered boards. Working man's refrain. Station platform cold and white. Suitcase resting by my knee. A northbound line at 9:30. Calling out to me. Ticket stub folded in my palm. Ink already wearing thin. Card games waiting in a back room bar, where the real night begins. Dice rattle near a crater gym. Brown bottle stacked factory whistle in my memory still echo through my skull. Payday gone by Saturday night, park is running low. Night freight crying past the yard, rigger boots fading slow. I watch the sparks beyond the tracks, nowhere left to go. Street vendor shouts under morning gray, selling fruit too bright to taste. I pass along with a quiet sigh, time moving too fast, never to waste. A newspaper boy calls out the headlines, paper trembling in his small hand. I see my life printed in small lines, stories too heavy to understand. Taxi horn splits a silent street, echoing off brownstone walls. People hurry without noticing me, trapped inside invisible halls. I wait at the bus stop in the rain, coat collar high against the wet. Buses roll by full of faces, each one carrying a debt I can't forget. The elevated train rattles above, steel wheels singing a lonely tune. I watch the shadows dance on bricks, thinking of love gone too soon. My alleyways smell of coal and grime, ash and mud in equal measure. The city thrives on work and crime, but leaves the quiet without treasure. A bell from the train calls out, metal screaming in the gray. I walk alone beneath this track, knowing I'll pay for yesterday. Street vendors, newspaper boys, taxi horns fade. The city sighs into the night. I move with the ghosts of unseen hands, carrying my blues without a light. Courthouse steps warm, smooth by years. Footfalls echo the lives they've crushed. I sit outside, smoking my lungs, watching hope and fear be hushed. The jailhouse door clangs in the wind. metal body net, wooden frames, men inside counting each regret, whispering others' names. Bail money slides across the counter, silver coins, cold in my hand. It buys a few more days, but nothing can make a man stand. I sit on the courtroom bench, watching faces twist and shame. Law books stacked like prison walls, no one to blame but my own name. A guilty plea echoes from the stand like a hammer cracking through bone. I think of my own missteps, of nights I walked alone. Outside the city hums indifferent, street vendors hawking yesterday's bread. Life moves on, uncaring and sharp, even when hearts are dead. A clock ticks loud against the silence, time indifferent to sorrow and pain. I leave the courthouse steps behind, trying to breathe in vain. The jailhouse door slams one last time, and shadows linger long and low. I walk home with a guilty plea, feeling the weight I always know. Boot heels echo on rain-slick bricks, footsteps chasing ghosts down the lane. The alley cat darts through shadows, its hissing note in my refrain. Stray dog limps along the gutter, nose to the ground, eyes wide. I feel like him some nights, searching for scraps in the tide. A brick wall drips with yesterday's rain, moss clinging stubbornly to the seams. I press my hand to the cold, feeling the weight of broken dreams. Police siren wails down the street, red and blue slicing through fall. I duck into a doorway, silent and small, watching the law jaw pass like a dog. Yeah. like a far above, that glow too bright for my eyes. Another night full of empty promises, and no one left to advise. Blue heels tap inside my chest, echoing rhythms I cannot tame. Every turn, every narrow street seems to whisper someone else's name. Rainwater pools at my shoes, mixing with prime's smoke. I move with the alley cats and strays, haunted by words I never spoke. The city sleeps but never rests. Shadows curl around my feet. I walk alone through brick and stone, carrying the blues no one can be. County line sign leans in the wind, cornfields stretch beyond the hill. Truck engine ticks beside the road, night air cold and still. Strum rolls from a porch swing seat, mason jar passed around. Stars burn bright above the barn, crickets fill the ground. Then rises from a weather tune, railroad track nearby. Freight cars clatter through the dark, leaving sparks to fly. Kettle taps on a dusty board. Boot heels mark the beat. A church bell rings from town at night, echo through the street. Pluck cuts clear through country air. Fireflies trace a line. A farewell kiss beneath the oak. Hands entwined, entwined. Sustained carriage across the fields. Truck headlights glow white. Suitcase tossed in the open bed. Gravel scatters in the night. Strong returns while the mailbox post. Letter never sent. Ink runs dry upon the page. Words of what it meant. Ben lingers past the county sign. Tail lights fade from view. Cornfields whisper in the dark, like they always knew. River mud clings to my boots. Moon hangs heavy over the peak. A bottle sweats on a barrel top. Crickets bow to the night out here. His rises from a jukebox spot, nickel shining in my hand. Cards lie scattered on a crate. No one plays a fair command. Press of keys in the corner room. Bartender wipes a cloudy glass. Train horn rolls across the bridge. Freight cars rumble past. Pedal clicks beneath the shoe. Dice get wild across the board. A red dress turns beneath the lamp. Nobody speaks a word. Sweep of coat across a chair. Perfume drifting through the haze. Boot heels scrape on wooden planks. eyes locked in a gaze. Fuzz cracks from a battered speaker. Silver coins ring bright. Someone laughs a broken laugh, then vanishes from sight. His returns beneath the bar, whiskey burning clean. Shadows stretch along the wall like they've always been. Press lands hard on the final chord. River keeps its tune. Bottle tips beside my hand. Dawn coming soon. Juke joint sweating past midnight. Tin roof shaking from the beat. Dust rising off the wooden floor. Boot heels stomping heat. Shot glass sliding down the rail. Nickels clinking in a jar. Barmaid laughing through the smoke, watching from afar. Pool hall buzzing in the back. Chalk dust on the sleeve. Cards tucked deep in a gambler's coat. Nothing to believe. 8-ball rolling toward the corner. Crowd holding breath. One man sweating over green felt cloth, betting more than dead. Cry slicing through the room. Last neck catching light. Couple spinning near the wall, lost inside the night. Cigarette sparks across the dark. Chair legs scraping wood. Two men staring eye to eye, neither feeling good. Juke joint quiet near sunrise. Floor sticky from the sin. 8-ball resting where it stopped. No one
truck stop glows against open highway. Engine rumble like restless hearts. Drivers sit with coffee cups, each man alone in his own mouth. Inside the highway diner, fluorescent lights flatten every face. A waitress writes order without looking up, like she's memorized disappointment. The jukebox nickel drops with a click, and a blues tune fills the room. Nobody says they need the song, nobody tells it to stop. The bass fiddle walks beneath the melody, steady as a stubborn pulse. A man at the counter stares outside, thinking of a house that's gone cold. A snare brush whispers across the drum, soft as regret in the back of the mind. I push my plate away untouched, hunger replaced by memory. The cashier counts change twice, numbers never quite adding up. Life runs a tab on every man, and it always collects. Headlights flare back to life outside, another engine finding the road. Some men drive to escape something, some drive because there's nowhere left. The truck stop shrinks in my mirror, the song still ringing in my ears. The highway stretches into darkness, and loneliness takes the wheel. Soft chord drifts along the cobblestone alley, footsteps echo beneath the dim lamp. Faint pluck hums from the corner piano, rain trickles softly in the night's dam. Tired note bends beneath the fire escape, slow strum hums across the boarded door. Soft sweep curls past the shadow wall, footsteps vanish down the street once more. Faint pluck hums along the alley roof, soft chord vibrates where the lantern glows. Tired note drifts past the wooden chair, rain taps quietly over the street below. Slow strum hums beneath the stairwell light, footsteps echo in the foggy night. Soft sweep drifts past a distant wall, lantern flickers
faint in the alley side. Across the corner door, tied note bends under the hanging sign. Soft chord vibrates on the cobbled floor. Slow strum drifts past the alley line. Soft sweep hums under the lamplight glow. Footsteps fade where shadows blend. Faint blood curls along the brickwork walls. A tired note echoes till the night's end. Slow strum vibrates past the alley bench. Soft chord drifts beneath the window frame. Faint blood hums along the narrow street. Tired note bends beneath the candle flame. Soft sweep curls through the damp night. Slow strum hums past a silent wall. Faint pluck drifts along the distant roof. Tired note fades where the night birds call.
Green felt table under smoke, coins stacked in a pile. Dealer grins with golden tooth, won't be here a while. Strange cry from behind the curtain, glass rings sharp and clear. A man with scar across his cheek whispers in my ear. Strum rolls through the narrow room, bottle cracks the floor. Chair legs scrape against the wood, footsteps at the door. Card strikes hard beneath the lamp, cards slide from the sleeve. Someone swears on borrowed cash, yeah. No one plans to leave. Press lands flat up on the board, dice scatter wide. A woman in a crimson coat steps aside. Strings ring out once again, sirens in the street. Dealer sweeps the winners faster,
coins beneath his feet. Strong returns with steady hand. Smoke climbs to the beam. Broken glass beneath my boot, like a shattered dream. Face settles on the final note, coins lost in the night. Backroom door swings shut behind. Morning brings no light.
Smoke curls thick and narrow. Green felt stretched on a crooked board. Silver coins flashing candlelight. Boot heels scrape the floor. Amber sits behind a curtain. Bartender counts his pay. A gold ring taps against the glass. Nobody looks away. The stand hangs over rattled dice. Sweat beads on the brow. One man grins with broken teeth. Another makes a vow. Sweep of a coat across a chair. Cards tucked in a sleeve. The dealer coughs and clears his throat. No one dares to leave. Vibrato shakes from a jukebox tune. Nickel drop with care. A woman leans against the wall. Red flower in her hair. Car strikes sharp across the room. Bottle shatters near the door. Chair legs drag on splintered wood. Someone hits the floor. Sweep of sirens down the block. Coins scatter wide. Footsteps crash through the hallway. No place left to hide. Sustained rings in a shattered glass. Smoke drifts toward the beam. Dice red still on green felt claw. Like the end of a dream. Fred echoes through the candlelit hall. Pluck drips past the whiskey glass. Chord bends on a piano key.
Pedal bends where shadows pass. Tape vibrates beneath the lantern's glare. Note hums through the alleyway door. Strum curls across the polished floor. Pick scratches under the barroom floor. Tube resonates past the wooden bench. Sustained bends in the smoky night. Car drifts along the corner wall. Press bends under the neon light. Fret vibrates under the lamp's soft glow. Pluck hums from the piano lid. Tape carries whispers through the hall. Pick scratches past the alley edge. Pedal bends along the stairwell steps. Note drifts across the polished stage. Chord lingers in the ballroom air. Strings vibrate through the neon cage. Strum bends over the whiskey bottles. Tube vibrates under the lantern light. Tape curls through the corner shadows. Sustain hums beneath the alley night. Brass bends past the candle's flame. Car drifts through the smoky room. Pick scratches on the polished bar. Plug hums beneath the lamp's gloom. Fret vibrates on the piano keys. Pedal bends in the distant hall. Tape bends across the alley floor. Chord carries through the midnight call.
Greyhound waits beneath the sun. Suitcase resting by my shoe. Coffee steam in paper cups. Sky turning blue. Then rides through a station tune. Ticket torn in half. Poured a nod without a word. No one dares to laugh. Plug tabs from a travel case. Radio murmurs news. A woman folds her Sunday dress, counting what she'll lose. Sustain hangs in the depot hall. Clock hands nearing 5. Boot heels scrape the concrete floor. Engines come alive. Vibrator shakes from a passing song. Bridge lights flicker bright. Highway stretching far ahead. Gone before first light. Air pump sits behind the seat. Chrome reflects the sun. Fields roll past the dusty glass. Miles weigh a ton. Then returns near county line. Letter in my coat. Ink is bled across the page. Truth I never wrote. Plug fades under engine growl. Bus pulls southbound fast. Depot sign grows small behind. Just another pass.
Corner tavern by the tracks, brick walls stained with age. Streetlight flickers over cracks of men. Night becomes a stage. Maxwell Street not far away. Footsteps in the rain. Battered up right in the corner, carrying the pain. Delta wind remembered in my bones. Those city lights burn bright. Fields replaced by steel and smoke. Still I hear the night. Rye whiskey steady in my grill. Shot poured neat and strong. Bartender wipes the counter down like he's done it all along. River mist drifting in my mind. Bridge lights on the shore. Freight cars clouding overhead like a distant war. Dice rolling near the back room door. Cars pressed in a palm. A woman humming under breath, trying to stay calm. To the beam, mirror crack behind the bar, reflecting every dream. Corner tavern nearly closed, morning pressing thin. Street sweeper pushing yesterday back where it has been.
Cornfields way beyond the fence. Porch swing creaks at dusk. Messenger passed hand to hand. Air thick with dust. Sustained carries across the yard. Railroad running near. Freight cars clatter through the trees, bringing distant fear. Big strikes clean on a weather tune. Boot heel mark the ground. Fireflies drift above the ditch. soft summer sound. Brass lines firm on a upright key. Barn door left ajar. Church bell rings from town at night, echoing far. Fade drifts over gravel drive. Truck idling by the gate. Suitcase resting on the step. Won't be late. Slide glides past the county sign. Tail lights glowing red. Fields whisper through the dark. Words never said. Turned beneath the stars. Jar set on the rail. Wind moves through the cotton road, carrying a tale. Pick rings out one final time. Dust rising slow. County line behind my back. Nowhere left to go.
Harbor lights shimmer across black water. Salt wind cutting through my coat. The moon hangs low and distant, like something I once almost held. A dark worker leans against a piling. Matches flare against the dark. He lifts crates for a living. I carry memories I cannot sit down.
A river barge groans along the channel, its engine breaking the night apart. I stand on the edge of the pier, waiting for footsteps that won't return. The warehouse door slams in the wind, echo bouncing through empty space. There's a door inside my chest too, and every gust makes it shake. The loading dock is slick with the rain, water beneath my shoe. We once stood here side by side. Now only one shadow falls. The ship's whistle fades into distance. Ropes loosen and drift away. Some departures are loud and final. Others happen without a word. A bottle waits unopened in my coat. Not every sorrow needs drowning. Some nights demand clear-eyed, so you can feel the weight completely. Harbor lights burn until
Midnight shift hums through the empty streets. Steel gates echo as the city sleeps. Smoke curls from a smokestack high, and shadows stretch against the night sky. Machines roar like distant thunder, grease and sweat in equal measure. Each clang a reminder of days gone by, each spark a flicker of buried treasure. The factory horn bellows the hour, calling tired hands to labor once more. Feet heavy on concrete floors, dreams scattered behind the iron door. I watch the river current roll slow, dragging leaves, bottles, and dreams alike. Nothing stops, nothing asks permission. Everything leaves a mark you can't strike. Dock rope coils beside the pier, afraid at the edges like my hope. A boat drifts silently through fog, and I wonder if I'll ever cope. Lunch pails empty, pockets light, the whistle blows, another day begun. I walk past shadows and steel beams, counting nothing but the sun. Midnight fades, the cold gray dawn, the smokestack smokes into a pale sky. Drag my feet to the river again, just trying to survive, just trying to get by. Work gloves lay stiff on the counter, leather cracked at the seam. Another day spent under engines, chasing mechanical dreams. An oil stain spread across my shirt, dark as a week behind. You scrub and scrub at certain marks, but some won't leave your mind. At the tool bench I stood alone, metal lined up straight and neat. A wrench set shining in the light, but nothing here can fix the feet. My chain while it hit the floor, cones rolling toward the wall. garage door rattled in the wind, dust dancing in the beam. I once believed in steady ground, now I trust the hum of machine. Men laugh loud around the counter, talking ball games and fight. I'm not alone, but drift somewhere else into long and sleepless nights. Smells faint of gasoline, even after I wash my hands. Hard labor feeds the body, but leaves the heart of man. I hang those work gloves by the door, another shift complete. Tomorrow I'll turn bolts again, trying not to feel the heat.
Buzz depot lights flicker pale, suitcase waiting by my shoe, coffee steaming, paper cup, sky turning blue. Slide drifts from a travel tune, ticket tone and hair. Station clock reads 4:30. Nobody dares to laugh. Cord rolls through the waiting hall, bench worn smooth by years. A woman folds her Sunday dress, hiding back her tears. Vibrato shakes from a radio song, static cutting through the air. Chrome on a Greyhound shining cold, dust everywhere. Pedal clicks beneath a polished shoe, driver nods his head. Engine coughs once then again, words left unsaid. Buzz cracks from a roadside speaker, highway stretching wide. Telephone poles counting miles, regret riding inside. county line, bridge over darkened stream. A photograph bends in my coat like a broken dream. Cord fades under engine roar, tail lights burning red. Town grows small behind the glass, everything unsaid. Greyhound idols at the curb, suitcase waist by painted lines. Coffee steam curls in a paper cup, ticket torn in quiet signs. Slide drifts from a backseat tune, highway signs blur in the rain. A postcard tucked in a coat pocket, ink smudged by her name. Song, fields stretched flat and wide, telephone poles count the miles, regret rides by my side, plug taps out, arrested the rhythm, driver hums beneath his breath. Chrome reflects the morning sun, dust clings tight as death. Waves from a diner door, coffee strong and black as oil. Press lands hard on a suitcase latch, station clock reads 4:30. Boot heels scrape on concrete steps, wind cuts through the deco floor. Slide returns near Memphis town, river bridge beneath the wheels. A photograph bends in my hand. Truth is what it feels. Ben lingers past the engine's growl, pulls south once more. Ticket stub falls to the curb. Heart stays near that door.
She walked in wearing red lipstick, right against the smoky room. Every head turned toward a shadow, like flowers toward a bloom. High heels tapped across the floor, sharp against the band's refrain. She didn't look in my direction, but I felt it just the same. I pulled down my fedora brim, hiding eyes that gave too much. Pride can feel like dignity until it costs your touch. Her trench coat hung across a chair, perfume in the air. She laughed with someone by the bar, like I was never there. A pocket watch ticked in my vest, time steady and unfair. Minutes don't wait for broken men, they just vanish in the air. The band kept playing steady blues, glasses clinked in time. I tasted something bitter tonight, and it wasn't just a ride. She left before the final song, didn't turn to wave goodbye. Some endings don't require words, they happen in the eye. I stayed until the chairs were stacked, lights turned harsh and white. Love can dress in elegance and still walk out of sight. The church bell rang across the block, rolling through brick and broken sleep. Morning came without forgiveness, just another promise I couldn't keep. I wore my Sunday suit like armor, pressed clean but thin at the seam. The mirror showed a faithful man, but doubt was louder than it seemed. A gospel hum drifted from open doors, voices rising toward stained glass light. I stood outside on the sidewalk, not sure I belonged inside. At the prayer bench I bowed my head, wood creaking under regret. standing on crack pane. Silence sat across from me, wearing patience like a saint. Bills were stacked beside the Bible, ink bleeding through the page. Faith don't always pay the landlord, mercy don't soften wage. Neighbors sang a brighter morning, the streets paved clean and gold. But this town keeps its truth in brick, and brick runs cold. Church bell will ring next Sunday, calling sinners just the same. I'll still be walking these alleys, carrying more doubt than shame.